Welcome to Study Abroad 101. My name is Vienna Leonarduzzi. I am the Study Abroad Program Specialist at Michigan Tech, and I work within the Pavlis Honors College. This presentation will include a detailed overview of our study abroad programs, financial resources, the application process, and your next steps. First off, we'll talk about the benefits of studying abroad. So there are career advantages to studying abroad. Recruiters who are coming to career fair at Michigan Tech are very aware of the skills that you're gaining from your international experience. So skills such as critical thinking, adaptability, flexibility, those are things that you may gain from an international experience. And these are also skills that are desired when looking for an employee for a job. So when you look at job descriptions and you're looking at the skills that are desired, you may see critical thinking, adaptability, flexibility. You get the idea. So having an international experience overall is just impressive. It sets you apart from your peers. It shows that you are able to step out of your comfort zone and live somewhere else for a short period of time. And overall, it's just very, very impressive on your resume. There are academic benefits to having an international experience. So study abroad does not affect your GPA. So you'll take a class abroad. Let's say it's a physics course. So before you even leave for your program, we'll get that physics course evaluated, look at the syllabus, and we'll determine what the equivalent Michigan Tech credit is. So if it's an exact match for one of our physics course, great. So you'll go abroad, you'll take that class, you'll pass the class in that country's grading system. And on your Michigan Tech transcript, you will then receive an exchange pass grade. So EP would be the grade if you pass the class. If you happen to fail the course in that country's grading system, you will receive an EF, so exchange fail, on your Michigan Tech transcript. In both cases, EP, EF, it will not affect your GPA. Going abroad also means having unique course offerings. So for example, maybe you want to take a cuisine course, Italian cuisine, let's say, and we'll evaluate that course and we may determine it equivalent to a humanities or a social science course. So again, just a good opportunity to take classes that aren't offered at Michigan Tech, but still equivalent or closely related to one of our courses. Going abroad also is a great way to break away from, the day-to-day busyness of Michigan Tech's academic culture. So quizzes, pop quizzes, exams after each, kind of section of their curriculum, reflections, things like that. You may find abroad the academic culture isn't like that. Maybe you're only expected to take one exam at the end of the semester. Maybe attendance isn't even taken in class. So if you're looking kind of like for a break, a mental break, maybe study abroad is for you. And going abroad also means you get to learn from different educators. So whether they're international educators or other educators from the US, either way, it's educators outside of Michigan Tech. So there's that benefit. Personal benefits, so self-discovery, self-growth. You're going to be learning about yourself. You may find out that you need to be by a body of water or have quick access to water. That's something that I learned when I went abroad. So I grew up in Michigan, surrounded by the Great Lakes. And when I was in India, for example, I didn't really see many lakes, at least where I was, and I was feeling very homesick. And I noticed I felt that way when I was in Italy as well. So maybe you'll find out that you want to be by nature. You'll also maybe find out that you're really good at navigating. So maybe you're on an excursion with your friends, maybe you get separated from the group and you're able to get the group back to where they need to be because you led the group based on your navigation skills, let's say. So you're gonna learn about yourself. And of course, you'll be able to experience new things. So maybe it's skydiving, maybe it's windsurfing, maybe it's backpacking in the mountains. And then wild, so like the wild card benefit, so money. So as a Michigan Tech student, you can use your Michigan Tech financial aid towards your program. So if you currently have aid to be a student at Tech, you can pretty much count on that being able to be applied towards your study abroad. But of course, we'll want to double check with financial aid office to confirm that. But you can pretty much count on it being able to travel with you. In addition to what you may have, there are study abroad scholarships, which we'll talk about later. But just know that as a student, you can then apply for those scholarships. So now is the time to go abroad. So you have access to funds. Also, you maybe don't have a lot of responsibilities right now. You're a student and maybe you're renting and you don't have a mortgage, or you don't have a full-time job, for example. So now's the time to go because you don't have a lot of responsibilities. You'll make new friends while you go abroad. You become more globally in tune. So you're going to learn a lot about the country that you're in. You may learn a lot about the US or your home country while you're abroad. And then you're going to generate some really cool, fun content for your Instagram and TikTok while you're abroad. Some things to think about when choosing a program. So academics. So you could take courses for your electives, gen ed requirements, major, minor if you have one, and senior design. We'll hit on that one in a little bit. But just keep in mind, again, that the courses you're taking abroad will be pre-approved before you go, so you know exactly how they will satisfy your academic requirements at Michigan Tech. Expenses. So we'll be looking at a type of program where we look at a program fee. So that's where you would compare the program fee to your Michigan Tech tuition, and whichever is greater is what your bill will be. So you will get a bill from Michigan Tech for your study abroad. And if you're looking for a program that costs about the same as your Michigan Tech tuition, that's something to think about then when choosing your location. I talked about financial aid and scholarships. Personal expenses is something you want to take in mind. So are you going to be wanting to do additional travel outside of your host location while you're abroad? Is there any festivals going on that you want to take part in? Looking at flight, that's going to be an out-of-pocket expense, as well as passport and visa. If you don't have a passport, you're advised to get one as soon as you can. It is valid for 10 years. So it's good to get one as soon as you can, so you have that, because you will need a passport in order to apply for a visa if you do need a visa. Not all locations require a visa, but you can pretty much count on needing one if you're going to be studying abroad for a semester or an academic year. Some locations, if you're there for just a few months, you may not need a visa. Also think about the location. So do you want to be in the city, rural location? Do you want to be off the grid? Do you want to be where things are happening? What's the cost of living like in that location? So that is going to affect your personal expenses, so food and other activities. What's the language of that host country? Is it not English, and are you okay navigating through that? You will find that a lot of countries do speak English, but it's always good to at least check to see what the local language is, so you're not caught off guard. Housing will vary for each program, but different housing types are host families, dorms that are on campus with other students, apartments on campus or off campus. Transportation, so local transportation. So are you going to be okay getting to school on a bus or a train, or having to ride your bike or walking a long distance? Keep that in mind. And then the overall culture, what's that like? Do you have some particulars that you want or don't want when you're choosing a location? Are you looking for a location that is accepting of all identities? Keep that in mind as well. So now we're going to spend some time on our programs. So we have reciprocal exchange. This is where you will pay Michigan Tech tuition. So there's no comparison of tuition to another fee. Just know across the board for exchange programs, you will be paying Michigan Tech tuition. We have programs in all of these locations for the semester. Our two Germany programs, well, I guess just say Hanover, Germany, they do have a summer program, but all the other ones listed here, they are semester only. You can learn more here. You will direct enroll into that host university. You'll take classes with local and international students. You will most likely be living in an apartment or possibly on-campus dorms. You will not have a host family with an exchange program. It definitely is an independent experience. So if you have traveled abroad before or lived on your own for a little bit, and you kind of like, to be on your own, an exchange program is ideal for that type of student. There won't be a lot of hand holding by counselors or advisors, but you will have the support of that host university's international office while you are in that location. So again, the idea is that we're sending our students to these locations, and then they're sending their students to Michigan Tech. So that would be considered an exchange. Then we have European Project Semester, also known as EPS. This is also the same class as Michigan Tech tuition. We have locations on these, or programs in these following locations. For example, Kiel, Germany is a spring-only program. Poland is both spring and fall, as well as Norway. Netherlands is a fall-only program. Valencia, Spain is fall and spring, and Villanova, Spain, I believe, is only a spring program. This is where our Michigan Tech engineering students can complete their senior design requirements. So if you were to stay at Michigan Tech to complete your senior design, it would take you 2 semesters. However, with EPS, you can complete all of that in 1 semester. So you would receive all of your senior design credits in that 1 semester program. You would be put on a project team with other international students, and you'd be completing a client project for a local client. And together, your team is contributing each academic expertise. So for example, if you're an ME student in mechanical engineering, you'll be contributing your ME expertise to the project. And then maybe you have a computer engineering and software engineering teammates, and together you're contributing your expertise to that project. So it's very similar to how senior design is structured at Michigan Tech. The nice thing about this, again, is that you'll complete 2 semesters worth of credits in 1 semester. And it's taught in English, which is really nice. Then we have Michigan Tech faculty led. This is where you travel abroad with Michigan Tech faculty and students taking Michigan Tech courses. These tend to be offered in the summer, track A or B. We do have one program that's offered during spring break. You will have 24/7 on-site support. You'll have excursions, so group excursions, field trips that you'll do with the students in your program, the faculty who are leading you. Some locations may have a homestay option where you live with the host family. Others, maybe you're staying in hotels or hostels or dorms. It could be a mix of all of that. It really is dependent on the location. So the first faculty-led program that I'll highlight is a program for Dublin, Ireland. And you'll also go to Dingle and Galway. And this is offered summer 2022, track A. The first 2 weeks will be remote in the US. Here's more information about the faculty. So Libby Meyer and Dana Van Hoy. Here are the courses that you'll be taking. You are required to take 9 credits, and then there'll be optional PE for you. There'll be a lot of traveling around with this one. I believe everyone is staying in hotels for this. Then we have Cumber, England, summer track B. Dates are TBD, but they will be July through August 2022. A little bit about the program here. The professor is Cara Blair from Social Sciences, and you are required to take all 3 of these courses, so 9 credits in total. You will visit castles, you'll travel to different areas. It's a really, really cool program. It's been offered for, I think, maybe 15 to 20 years now. So it's a very successful program, very, very popular for obvious reasons. A new program, Bremen, Germany. This is for anyone who needs or wants to take operations and supply chain management. So this is the one course that will be offered. Dates are TBD, but most likely will be track B of next year. Field trips to some of these places, and the faculty member is Ulrich Schmiesel from College of Business. Another faculty-led program, Monteverde, Costa Rica. Summer track A. You'll get to go to the Costa Rica Cloud Forest, which I hear is just magical. This will have a global sustainability focus. You will live with a host family, so a local family. And the professor is Rochelle Winkler from Social Sciences. And here are the courses that she is offering. And there's optional PE credits. Then we have International Senior Design, I-Design for short. This is to Panama. Summer track B, open to all seniors from all majors. And this is a great opportunity to get involved in the local community and do some great work for the locals there. And this is led by David Watkins from Civil Engineering. And this is another opportunity for engineering students to complete their senior design credits. We have Engineers Without Borders, also led by Dave Watkins. This is like a national chapter program. The locations as of now are going to be Bolivia and or Guatemala. You'll be working in the community with this one as well. If you have any questions about course credit, talk with Dave Watkins. Sure, let's skip one and do that. All right, so we also have some tentatively scheduled faculty-led programs. Greece, Finland, Amtrak, so that's where you would travel by train in the US. This would be one of our first US-based faculty study away programs. We also have Design Your Own Adventure. Depending when you're watching this, this may not be relevant for you, but this is a fall 21 planning course. So the idea is that you will enroll in this course, and the purpose of it is for you to plan and propose a summer 2022 study abroad program. So everything from location to time to what you're going to be doing, to the classes that you're taking, all of that. And then as information is finalized, we'll announce it across our networks. But just keep in mind there's some other ones that may be offered next year. All right, so now we're going to move into third-party provided programs. What I have listed here will vary for each location, but pretty much all of them, they're going to have a 24/7 on-site support. The courses will be pre-approved for tech credits. Some locations have locations all over the world. There's going to be group excursions. Depending which program we're going to talk about, they may have summer, semester, and academic year, where some may only have semester, but we'll cover that in a second. A variety of courses for all majors. Some programs may have internship and service learning opportunities. So service learning is community involvement. And then for all the ones we're about to go over, this is where we will compare Michigan Tech tuition to the program fee. So if you're an in-state student, your tuition is like what, $10,000 about? We'll be comparing that to the program fees. Keep in mind, a lot of the program fees are going to include housing, excursions, and of course the tuition to your program and some international health insurance. So keep that in mind as we go through these programs. All right. Frontiers Abroad is a program in New Zealand, and this is for our students whose majors are related to natural sciences. And it's a very unique program where it's blending a multi-week field course, usually about 5 weeks, and a full semester on campus. So currently, these are the programs that are being offered. So geology and then earth systems. I do know they have a summer program as well, where it's just a 5-week field camp, but that is not currently running right now. But I know most times they do have that. And this is a good opportunity for those in natural science majors. If you have to do some sort of fieldwork component, it's a great way to complete that and go to beautiful New Zealand. Then there's NCA, the French American Exchange Program. So this is in Cergy, France, University of NCA. And this is for our electrical engineering and computer science during your 3rd year spring semester. These are the Michigan Tech course titles. So these are the courses that you would receive credit. There's a lot more courses that can be evaluated. So key thing here, it's for these majors and it's a spring only, and it's mainly for 3rd year spring semester. Global Semesters is a unique program at the University of Nicosia. So Cyprus is an island country in the Mediterranean. And it's considered one of the safest countries in Europe. It's beautiful, it's very tropical. It has that blue aquamarine water, there's beautiful cliffs, Greek culture there. But they are known for their pre-med programs. That's why I have a photo here of the cadaver lab. I actually took this photo, so I did visit this program. And those are real bodies on those tables there. So they are known for their pre-med programs. If you're looking to go to med school, it's a good opportunity to get some cadaver lab experience. Besides their med program, they also specialize in business. So Cyprus as a country is known to be a business hub in Europe. They also have engineering programs and communication programs. Then we have USAC, University Studies Abroad Consortium. So this is where we'll be comparing Michigan Tech tuition, so remember that. But USAC is budget friendly. So their USAC is a nonprofit, so a lot of the proceeds do go back into scholarships and into the programming to keep the costs down for the student. So you have locations all over, 24/7 on-site support. They specialize in language immersion. Some locations have internship and service learning. Courses available for all majors. They also have modern and critical new language offerings. Courses to satisfy your gen ed and major core requirements. And they have options all year around. International Studies Abroad, ISA, they also have locations all over the world, 24/7 site support. They also have internships and service learning, but they also have undergrad research opportunities and Christian missions. So with research, you would be working in the lab there, so you can choose whether or not you want to do the strictly research trial there, or you can do the other option where you do research plus a couple courses, like a language class, for example. With Christian missions, so Veritas program, that's where you would take classes with everybody else in the program, but you'll have some special activities and practicum courses that are faith-based. Again, courses available for all majors, all year round. Moving on. Team Education Abroad Network, they work with ISA. So they have programs in the Pacific and Asia, so New Zealand, Australia, Fiji, and then all over Asia. And they have immersive programs, they have internships, courses for all majors. Most of the programs are going to be fall and spring, so may just have summer options. And very, very similar to ISA. Japan Center for Michigan Universities, JCMU, is a program in Japan, Hikone, Japan. It is an intensive Japanese language program, 10 credits of Japanese language. They also offer elective courses in addition to that language learning. Some of those electives tend to be in psychology, Japanese culture, maybe business. A lot of our students tend to stay for a full year. So when they are done with the program, they have 20 credits of Japanese language knowledge. And then the summer is just that language experience. So we do get a lot of students doing this. They have some great scholarship opportunities as well. It's a very unique program. As the name says, it's for Michigan universities. It's a nice cohort of your neighbors around Michigan and then going to Japan together. Semester at sea is where you will sail on a ship and live on that ship for a semester, visiting about 12 to 14 countries in that time. You live on that ship with your classmates, faculty, and staff. It's a great opportunity to see multiple countries. And the courses that are offered tend to be like second and third year level courses. And there's going to be classes for your gen ed, maybe some STEM courses. These are offered fall and spring only. They do match the Pell Grant dollar for dollar. So if you are receiving a Pell Grant, they do have a great program where they match that. Okay, so that was all of our programs. I'm a little out of breath if you can't tell, but now we're going to talk about financial resources. So as mentioned before, you can use your current aid to pay for your program, but there are additional scholarships for you to apply to. One thing we'll do for you as soon as you identify the program you want to go on and start the application, we will create you a budget sheet that outlines what you're expected to be billed by Michigan Tech, so whether that's tech tuition or the program fee. And then we'll have listed on there out-of-pocket expenses such as airfare, passport, visa, personal expenses, books, and then housing is also listed on there. So we calculate all that, and then if you do have any aid, that will also be on the sheet to then show you how much aid can then apply towards your overall expenses. There are Michigan Tech and provider scholarships. So for example, Michigan Tech offers a scholarship from the College of Engineering for students who are going abroad and are from the College of Engineering. Some of our program providers also offer scholarships. You can always learn more by looking at our financial resources page. There are national and international scholarships, so scholarships outside of Michigan Tech and the provider that you can apply for. I did only highlight a couple here. Benjamin A. Gilman is for students who are receiving the Pell Grant. So if you're our Pell Grant eligible, you can apply for this scholarship. It is between $1,000 and $5,000. Foreign is for those who are going to a country that speaks a critical language. So for example, Japanese and Arabic, and you'll be taking that language while you're abroad. The award amount does vary depending on when you go. For a summer, it'll be $8,000, semester $10,000, and academic year $20,000. There is a requirement for you to complete a service project for the Department of Defense because the board is supported and funded by the Department of Defense. So you will be required to complete a service project after you graduate from Michigan Tech. So for example, you may want to work with NASA or the FBI, so departments such as that. And there's a fund for education abroad. This is a scholarship fund where you submit one application and then there's a panel of judges who will review the applications and then decide what scholarships that you're available or that you're eligible for. So they have a big pot of scholarships available to students for study abroad, and they offer this twice a year. Now I'm going to go over the application process. It is recommended that you start planning 12 to 18 months in advance so you can save money, make sure your schedule for classes is all figured out for while you're abroad, and then also semesters before and after you study abroad. So it's good to start planning at least a year in advance. If you are a last minute planner, you'll just have to do a lot more work quicker, but we can make it happen. So the first kind of step is the Michigan Tech application. So our application is housed on VATRM as a software program, and you'll sign in with the Michigan Tech ISO. You'll browse all of our programs, submit your application, and then complete our course acceptance documents. After you've been approved by Tech to study abroad, you can then move on to the program application. So depending what program you choose, they too will have an application with their own deadlines. You'll submit that, get accepted, and complete their documents. Then there's the pre-departure stage. So there's the course planning. So the study abroad office would help you create your course plan by looking at the classes that are available for you to take, and we would use a spreadsheet to get those evaluated for Michigan Tech credits. You'll want to apply for scholarships during this time, eventually get your airfare, passport if you don't have one, visa if you need one, and then you'll want to look at your travel and health insurance options. So overall, 12 to 18 months in advance. 12 months, is pretty standard, but don't wait like 2 weeks before our deadlines to apply. So if you are a first year, you do have to wait to complete 2 semesters at Michigan Tech before you can go abroad. All these deadlines are before the study abroad term. So for example, if you want to study abroad summer 2022, March 1st of 2022 will be the application deadline for Michigan Tech. See other deadlines here. So your immediate next steps, write down your study abroad wish list and set goals. So where do you want to go? Where don't you want to go? So that'll help narrow down your list. So like kind of the pros and cons list. What are you hoping to get out of the experience? What are you hoping to learn and do? Things like that. Create your traveler profile via TRM and browse programs and submit your application. Let your academic advisor know you want to study abroad so they can assist you moving forward. Check out our YouTube channel for more videos. Subscribe and schedule a meeting with a study abroad advisor to discuss your program interest and your next steps after that. I hope this was helpful. Again, my name is Deanna Leonarduzzi over in the Travis Honors College. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, studyabroad@mtu.edu. That's our preferred method of contact. Connect with us by signing up for our newsletter and visit our website for most accurate information. Hope you have a good day. Talk to you later.